Today we are discussing the recent Consumer Price Index, CPI, inflation report, and energy prices. On the inflation front, the CPI report released this week showed a rate of 7.9%, meaning the costs of goods and services we purchase on average increased 7.9% over the past 12 months. This is now the highest one-year rate of change since 1982. The components impacting the overall inflation landscape the most were food, energy, mainly gasoline, and shelter. The gasoline index has risen 38% over the past year. In February alone, the gas index increased 6.6%, which accounted for nearly 1/3 of the entire CPI basket increase during the month. Now, switching over to shelter costs, which is the cost of renting a home, not the actual home price, was up 4.7% over the past year, making this the largest increase since 1991. This is not overly surprising since rental costs tend to lag behind changes in home prices, which have been steadily rising. What does this inflation data mean? Well, the Federal Reserve will likely begin raising short-term interest rates later this month, which has been expected. This is in an effort to help combat the rise in inflation. Next, we're going to spend time diving into the energy markets. Certainly, this has been front and center given the Russia-Ukraine conflict, and because changes in gas and energy prices broadly impact most people. Rising fuel prices act as a drag on the overall economy, since any additional money spent on energy means less money for other forms of consumption or savings. Now, the average price of a gallon of gas in the US has increased to about $4.20 recently. This is the highest level since the middle of 2008, which was during the time of the Great Financial Crisis. Given that gas prices are back to 2008 levels, we're going to do a comparison of then versus now with a focus on potential overall economic impact. To give you the conclusion first, gas prices at $4.20 today, we expect, will have less overall economic drag than in 2008. And here's why. In 2008, the value of the US economy, the value of all goods and services produced, measured by gross domestic product or GDP, was about $14.8 trillion. Now, if we draw a line between the middle of 2008 and today, we find that gas prices are the same, basically net zero change in price from start to finish, as I mentioned earlier. However, the size or value of our economy increased by about 62% to about 24 trillion. What this tells us is that gas prices today at $4.20 should have less overall economic drag than the last time we were at $4.20 a gallon. To take it a step further, using some crude back of the napkin math, gas prices would need to hit about $6.50 per gallon to have the same amount of relative impact on the economy that we saw in 2008. Now, the overall main takeaways here are that inflation continues to rise, which will likely lead to the Fed to begin raising short-term interest rates. This part is not a surprise, it's been expected. Also, rising gas prices, which are part of the inflation picture, are a drag on the US economy. However, the size of the economic drag we expect will be less than the last time we experienced gas prices at this level.